We're going to talk about writing a product of odds using factorials, and then we'll do the same writing a product of evens using factorials, and then we'll attempt writing it in general up to an n number of them. So we'll do that first. Before we do that, it's good to know, to remind yourself what a factorial is. If we have 4 factorial, it can be written as 4 to subtract 1 all the way down to 1. And then you can also represent that by multiplying it out. So we do this by just a string of equals. What we want to do is basically fill it in so that we have a factorial. So what we have basically is 1098 all the way down to 1. On the top, we have a 10 factorial. On the bottom, we have all even numbers, a product of all even numbers. So we can write all even numbers as a product of 2. 2 times 1. Okay, now, highlighting all my 2's that I've pulled out. I think we're ready to finish this one up. We have 10 factorial. How many 2's do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to the 5th. And do you see what's on the bottom? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, you see it. 5 factorial. This does need to be an odd number in general. So an odd number in general, 2n is an even number. So to make it odd, I'm going to go down 1 because it just makes our next thing easy. So that's our product of odds. And that can be represented as, again, this was an n, and we had to go up 1, right? So to go up 1, if I go up 1, then I go to 2n. That's equal to 2n. Quantity factorial, that's the top. And then on the bottom, it's divided by 2 to half of that number. Half of that number is just n, it's a simple half. And then on the 5 factorial is half of the top. Half of the top again is n factorial. Now, what if we do it for the evens? We're going to do the same thing. So what we have here is the 10 factorial on the top again. And on the bottom, we have the same product as we had example above, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is what we did above here. And that's the product of those using factorials. But now this product is in the denominator, so it's being divided by that. So we have to flip and multiply that answer. So 10 factorial on the bottom, and we have on the top 2 to the 5th times 5 factorial. And what happens? That 10 factorial crosses out, and we get 2 to the 5th times 5 factorial. And that's our answer. So in general, we can represent an even number just by 2n. Simple as that. And what is that equal to? Again, up here, we had 10, and these were basically 2 to half of that n. So half of that 2n is n. And then 5 factorial is half of that even number there, times n factorial. So there's formulas for both even and odd